Hi, everybody. Welcome to yoga. We are jumping right in. Take a comfortable seat. And if it feels okay in your body, tuck your feet underneath you so you're sitting on top of your shins. If that doesn't work, go ahead and just take a seat flat, cross those ankles. We'll just place the hands onto the legs. Shift a little side to side as you need to. Get settled. Feel free to have your eyes closed as we take a couple breaths here. Now, as we breathe, every time you exhale, nice and slow, take a little chin to your chest and finding a curve through your spine. And as you inhale, gently sitting up nice and tall, maybe even start to open the chest a little bit towards your ceiling. Again, exhales, we find a little curve, chin to chest. Inhales, lengthening, lifting tall. And from where we are, we're going to start to add some circles, just moving the ribs all the way around on top of our hips. Circle one direction a couple times. And then reverse. Finding our way back to the center, reaching the arms up to the ceiling. Take a big inhale, and we're going to exhale, lean over to our right side. And gently opening the chest towards the ceiling, finding an easy twist. Reach the left hand behind us slightly. Stay over on that side, but squaring back, shoulders over each other, sitting up nice and tall, and then switch, leaning over to our left side. Opening up that right side towards the ceiling, slightly reach the hands behind us. Staying over on that side, but square the shoulders on top of each other. Setting ourselves all the way back up, shifting into hands and knees, finding tabletop. Right away in this tabletop, we're going to sweep our right arm up to the ceiling. Thread the needle, come all the way down to that right ear, right shoulder. Go ahead, lengthen that left hand out in front, reaching towards the top of our mat. And bring the left hand back underneath us. Press to unwind, back to tabletop. And switch it out, opening our left hand up, all the way down to our left ear, left shoulder. Reach the right hand out towards the top of our mat, lengthening the arm. Bring the right hand back underneath us, press to unwind, opening back up to tabletop. We'll tuck our toes, start to stretch out the legs into down dog. Take a few pedals through our feet, alternating the heels. Like an ocean wave, we're going to start to ripple and roll through the spine. So letting your heels rise up. Start from our low back and spine, rolling forward towards high plank. Bend the knees, glide, and stretch out the legs into down dog. Again, heels up, rolling through the spine towards high plank. Knees bend, glide, and stretch, lengthen back. One more, heels up, rolling forward. Knees bend, glide, and stretching back. Bring the feet up to the wrists, wide stance, top of our mats. Go ahead, interlace the hands behind our low back. They can float away or stay resting. Taking a couple breaths as we hang over. Feel free to switch up the hands. Take something new. The hands release back down towards the floor, locking the feet into each other, finding our knees, chin to chest bend, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Keep those knees pretty soft until we arrive all the way up to stand. Take a few shoulder rolls. Broaden across the chest, press straight down through both legs. And standing tall, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Relax the shoulders, palms face in. We're just going to start to lift that left leg, left toes. Step those toes back, finding our way to our high crescent lunge. And from here, bend the elbows, take a little goalpost in the arms. Try to draw the elbows behind us, lifting just towards the ceiling. Lengthening out the spine, finding our high crescent lunge. We're going to open up warrior two, spin that back heel down, readjust. Reach the arms evenly out front to back. Lift that right side, reversing warrior. Keep that bend into our right knee pressing open. And extending side angle, reach out and down. Then we're going to bring that left hand to our hip or low back, finding a little opening through that left shoulder. Half binding. Lifting that right side back up, reverse warrior. Keep the front knee bent. Cartwheel the hands all the way towards the floor. Find our way to our low lunge. Tap that back knee down, coming up to our crescent lunge. Float up. Just like in crescent lunge, bend the elbows, goalpost the arms. Draw them behind us, lifting chin and chest slightly. And then go ahead, plant our palms, step back to a high plank. Long spine, long legs. Take an inhale and exhale. First chaturanga. Our knees or toes, stretch out. Work our way back up to down dog, taking a breath. Bringing our feet up to our hands, taking our forward fold. Hands to the legs, halfway lift, long spine. Forward fold. Reach the arms all the way up to stand us up, standing reach. Bring that right knee up, float those toes, stepping our right foot back. Finding our high crescent lunge, back heel lifts. Bend the elbows, lifting the chin and chest. Goalpost the arms. Straightening out, high crescent lunge. Spin that back heel down, open to warrior two. Reach the arms equally front to back. Bend into our left knee, lifting our left side, reverse warrior. Front leg stays bent and tracking forward and out. Back to warrior two and extending side angles. And again, bring that right hand to our hip or low back, half bind, open the shoulder. Left side brings us up, reverse warrior. We're going to cartwheel the hands to that left foot, finding our way to our low lunge. Tap that right knee down, crescent and float the fingertips up. Bend the elbows, baby back arch. Release the palms, high plank. Long spine, long legs. Taking our chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, open chest. Back to down dog, and we breathe. Know that we're going to add on to all of that. So we're going to, this time, start to lift those right toes, right leg off the floor. Reach those toes up. Bend that knee, draw it up to our nose. Find our way to our low lunge. Lift up, high crescent lunge. Take that baby back arch. High crescent lunge. Open warrior two. Right side lifts up, reverse warrior. Extend side angle. Find our half bind, left hand to low back. Keep that knee bent, lift up, reversing warrior. Cartwheel hands to the front foot, low lunge. Tap that back knee down, crescent moon, float the arms high. Take our baby back arch. Release. This time we're just going to lift that back knee. And then inhale, start to stretch out both legs up on both feet. Exhale, return to a lunge. Take that a couple times. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, lunge. One more. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, lunge. We'll step back, find our high plank. Flow that chaturanga. Take an inhale. Exhaling back to down dog. Left side, we're going to lift those left toes, left leg, reach it up. Bring that knee to nose, low lunge. Lift up to high crescent lunge. Baby back arch. High crescent lunge. Open warrior two. Left side lifts, reverse warrior. Extending side angles. Find our half bind, hand to low back. Knee stays bent, lift up, reverse warrior. Cartwheel hands all the way down, low lunge. Right knee taps down, lift up, crescent move. Baby back arch. Release the hands. Now as we lift that back knee, inhale, lengthen out both legs. Exhale, return that hip back down. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, lunge. Just a couple more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lunge. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lunge. We step right back, high plank. Chaturanga, flow through. Take a breath. Take an exhale, finding our down dog. From our down dog, go ahead, bring those feet up to our hands, forward fold. Hands to the legs, halfway lift, long flat spine. Folding forward. We're going to bring those fingertips up, rise to stand, reach the arms high. Start to lift that left leg, maybe start to float that left knee a little bit higher, finding a moment of balance. We're going to step that heel and toe behind us, but foot's going to stay flat to the floor. Straighten out both legs. Feet are on their own individual train track in line. Standing tall, hands on our hips. Just get top of our head, peek forward. Just finding a halfway point so our spine is like a tabletop. Right hip draws back, left hip forward. Finding our pyramid pose. If we have blocks or anything else and the fingertips want to creep down a little bit further, they can come to the leg. Maybe they can reach towards the floor. We can start to curve the spine a little bit more, finding some right hamstring opening. We're going to stay for a few more breaths. And from where we are, go ahead and bend that right knee a lot so we can start to turn our left toes open. We're going to spin both feet out, open to the side, and we'll shift over into that left leg, bending down into our left knee, finding our right hamstring, right leg opening. You can adjust where that right leg points. So maybe you slide that leg a little bit forward so both legs can rotate down, like we're almost sitting down onto the floor with toes towards the ceiling. And from where we are, we're going to try to reach that right arm up if it's accessible. Roll that right hand to our low back, finding an easy half bind, opening up the chest. And go ahead, release that half bind. We're going to shift to a wide forward fold, adjust hands and feet. Keeping that left hand down, opening the right arm up to the ceiling, finding a twist. Adjusting twist if we need to. Left hand can reach over towards the right leg. You can bend a knee. You can again return that right hand to a half bind towards our low back. And gently releasing that twist. We're going to spin those feet back to our front. Step that left foot up, meet the right forward fold. Lengthen out the spine, take a halfway lift, find that flat back. Folding forward, fingertips are going to reach us all the way up to stand. As you're ready, start to lift that right leg, right knee up. Maybe find a moment of balance. Wherever we are, right toes and heels, step back flat to the floor behind us. Legs straighten out, both feet on their own train track and flat. Hands to the hips. Top of the head's going to peek over. Just find that halfway point. So find a long spine. Legs straight, spine straight. Finding a couple breaths. And then we can start to ease. Maybe the fingertips walk down a little bit further. Maybe they come onto blocks to the floor. Spine can soften and curve. We're going to go ahead from where we are. We can shift and bend into our front leg. Just enough to start to turn those back heels and toes open and then readjust both feet. You can widen that stance as we bend over into our right leg, stretching out that left leg, left hamstring, side lunging. Staying up, but just imagining that we could be sitting down, adjust that left leg as we need to stay up and forward. Option if it's accessible, left arm can reach up. Roll that hand to our low back, finding a half bind. Releasing our half binds, we'll shift into that wide forward fold, pivot hands and feet. Here into a twist, sending our left fingertips up to the ceiling. You can bend a knee. Right hand can come to our left leg. Take what we need. Half binding. And gently start to unwind that twist. Turning to the front, right foot's going to meet our left. Taking our forward fold. Plant the palms, step right back into our down dog. Just stretching out arms and legs. We're going to sweep that right leg high. Bring that right shin forward into our pigeon. So as that leg comes forward, making sure our back leg tucks, scoots behind us, and we're on top of both legs. Fingertips in towards the hips, lifting tall through the spine. If a quad stretch feels good in the body, go ahead, bend that back knee. You can do same or opposite arm as leg. Otherwise, resting down, sleeping pigeon. Head to the floor. Giving ourselves a few more breaths here in pigeon. From where we are, gently sitting ourselves back up. We're going to just sit down onto that right leg. Enough that we can kind of spin open to the side, lengthening out the length of our mat. So right knee is going to bend in, left leg is out long, reaching our right hand high. We're going to come up and over, leaning towards that left side. See if we can keep our shoulders stacked. So keep the chest open and long. Less about reaching to the foot and more about keeping the chest open as you lengthen that whole right side of the body and back. And bringing ourselves back up, we're going to either cross just that left ankle in front or bring that left leg on top, finding our cow face. We're going to squeeze that left knee in, or if it's down to the floor, just finding a twist over that left shoulder. Gently unwind, take a moment to counter over the right. Coming back to the center, we can just bring the palms behind us, leaning back on the hands. Wherever the legs are, we can stay. We have cow face legs, we want to take it further. We're going to plant that left foot to the floor as we start to lift our hips up off the floor, and we lean back in our palms. So hips start to lift off as we lift our hips open, chest towards the ceiling, squeezing the shoulder blades together behind us. If our hips are lifted, soften them back down to the floor. We're all going to take that left leg, step it forward, find our way to our low lunge, and then step back into our down dog right away. Lengthen out the legs. Take a moment shifting here. And then go ahead, take your right foot, swing it behind our left leg. Toes can just tap to the floor. We don't have to keep the feet in close. Maybe even adjust hands and feet closer together. Maybe find some shifting, wagging into our tail, side to side. Work a little pedaling through the feet. And then winding that cross down dog, go ahead and sweep that left leg high. Bringing that left shin forward, coming into pigeon. Other side, making sure we're sitting up tall first. Walk the hands in close to the hips. Lift up through the chest. From here, for adding in our quad stretch, same or opposite arm is led. Or melting head down to the floor, sleeping pigeon. Again, from where we are, we're going to come up and out, sit onto that left hip, and just open up that right leg, super length side of our mat, keeping that left foot tucked in, reaching the left hand high, really coming up and over towards the right leg. Trying to keep our chest open, keep the shoulders stacked. This can feel like a lot through the left side of our body, so be easy about if we need to. And gently sitting ourselves back up, we'll bring that right leg in, either crossing at the ankles or stack that knee on top, cow face legs. Squeeze that knee in if we need to, and we'll all gently twist to the right. Sitting up tall. And gently unwind and counter over our left shoulder. Squaring back to the front, bring the hands behind us. Again, we're going to lean back on our palms, squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting chest up. If we'd like to take it further, plant the right foot into the floor. We can start to peel our hips off the mat, lifting the hips and the chest towards the ceiling. And allow our hips to drop back down. We're going to take that right foot, Step it out to the front, find our way to our low lunge, and step back and down dog. This time we'll take our left leg, send those toes behind, crossing left leg behind the right. And we can start to play around with how close hands and feet are. Maybe it's the toes that tap down. Maybe we shift and wiggle the tail. Go ahead, gently release. Finding our way, feet all the way up to our hands, taking a forward fold. And allowing those knees to bend, chin to chest. Taking a seat into our bound angle pose. We'll bring soles of feet together, knees open wide. Take it more of a diamond shape to start, first pass through. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll gently start to fold, chest towards the legs. Knees open wide. As we sit ourselves back up, planting our palms behind us, we can rotate fingertips in or facing out. Planting the feet to the floor, take a moment to windshield wiper side to side. Just going to make sure our shoulders are stacked over our wrists. And as we plant the feet into the floor, they are coming straight out of our hips and down. We're going to find an inverted tabletop. So feet pressing into the floor, start to feel our hips off the floor, lifting the hips up, finding our bridge. If we can, maybe check in with the hands underneath our shoulders, lifting through the glutes, focus towards the ceiling. And then slowly roll the hips back down. We're going to take those feet back together to touch. Finding that bound angle pose, maybe a little bit closer this time. Again, folding forward. And again, sitting ourselves back up. Plant those palms behind us. Plant the feet. Take a moment, windshield wiper side to side. Now you can repeat that same just inverted bridge, or we can start to take it a little bit further towards our back bend by planting the feet. And we're just going to plant that right hand to the ground first, making sure our shoulder is over our wrist. Press into both feet, reach our left hand forward. We're going to press into the feet and the hands as we start to lift our hips up, finding that bridge and that inverted tabletop. And then maybe see if we can send that left arm overhead. And we start to lift our chin towards that back wall. And gently lower the hips back down. We're going to switch it out. Plant that left hand to the floor, making sure shoulder is going to be over our wrist. As our right hand reaches up towards the ceiling, lift the hips high. Maybe we start to look behind us. Go ahead, send those hips back down. We're going to repeat that one more time, both sides. So right hand to the floor. Left arm is going to reach us up. Take it overhead. Send those hips gently back down to the floor and switch. Left hand down. Press up. And lowering the hips. And as we send those legs out in front, taking a forward fold here, you can keep those toes towards the ceiling as we fold. Staying over, finding a few big breaths. And gently rolling ourselves back up. We'll go ahead, find our way just to a crouch and curl. So plant those feet underneath us, knees off the floor, folding our chin into our chest. In this crouching curl, just sending our heels down to the floor. So straightening the legs any amount, but keeping the knees pretty soft as we hang over the legs. Go ahead and release the hands behind our head. Like we're cradling our head in our palms. And allow the head to start to kind of bob up and down. Giving ourselves a little nod, slow shake yes. We'll just allow that to start to slow down even more until it starts to stop. And then allow the head to move a little bit side to side, shaking it no, nice and easy. And allow that to slow down till it stops. Bring the hands back down towards the floor, easy through the shoulders, chin to chest. Very slow, we're rolling up through the spine. Keep rolling. Take your time, press the feet into the floor to roll ourselves up, to start to straighten out the legs. Top of the head, the last thing to arrive. Take the shoulders up and back out of the ears a few times. Pressing straight down through the feet. Go ahead, bring your palms down by your sides and then flex your palms so your fingertips are pointing out. And really press through the heels of our palms. From here, we're just going to tip our left ear to our left shoulder. Stay right here, or you can start to float your right arm up any amount. Option to press through that left heel just a little bit of way. Allow our right arm to float back down if we need to. Bring the head back to neutral. And then we're going to switch, just tipping the right ear towards our right shoulder. Continue to evenly press down through both hands. Maybe we start to play around with floating our left arm up any amount. As we need to, float that left arm back down to our sides. Bringing the head back to neutral, just allow the wrists to relax. Gently roll the shoulders up and back out of the ears. And then taking one head circle to the left, so bringing our left ear to our left shoulder. And then draw the chin down towards the chest. Rolling over to the right. Bringing it back up towards the ceiling, and then reverse it, bringing your right ear to your right shoulder. Rolling chin down to our chest. Over to the left. Bring the chin towards the ceiling. And then gently bring it back to the center. And shake it out. All right. Nice work, everybody. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you next time.